The heroines of these stories deserved much better. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 rom-com boyfriends who are the worst. For this list, we're looking at the least worthy love interests in romantic comedies. Since movies like The Devil Wears Prada do not fit into the genre, we won't be seeing Nate here.
You know, in case you were wondering, the person whose calls you always take, that's the relationship you're in. I hope you two are very happy together.
Number 10. Ben. He's just not that into you.
I slept with someone.
Based on the self-help book of the same name, the 2009 movie He's Just Not That Into You featured multiple intertwining storylines. One of the more memorable ones featured Bradley Cooper playing the despicable Ben, a married man who blatantly lies to his wife and forms an inappropriate relationship with Scarlett Johansson's character Anna.
Why can't we be friends? I mean, am I not allowed to have friends anymore? I mean, am I not allowed to be friends with people that are hot? I mean, what?
While he claims he just wants to be friends with her, of course he eventually crosses the line. Luckily, his wife catches him in his lies, and he ends up without either of the women. Which is absolutely the conclusion he deserves.
You made me sick to my stomach.
Choice. What
You're
was
a
I supposed to
disgusting
do?
excuse for a man.
Anyway, you know what? You're the one I
Don't
want.
touch me! You will never touch me again.
And this wasn't even the first time Cooper played an awful partner. He's equally hateable in 2005's Wedding Crashers.
Oh, no. Are you okay?
Well, Claire, my head's buried in a toilet. What do you think? Why don't you do the math, okay?
Number 9. Glenn Guglia, the wedding singer.
Oh, we can't get chicks like that anymore, you know, we're too old.
Speak for yourself. I'm not too old. I can still get chicks like that.
Not that hot, though, right?
Gotten hotter.
10 years ago.
Tried 10 days ago.
Sometimes in rom-coms, a woman has to choose between two equally worthy men. This is not one of those times. In The Wedding Singer, Julia is engaged to Glenn Guglia, which would make her name Julia Guglia. Yikes.
Oh, next time they come by, grab me a Heineken, will ya?
But he won't set a date for their nuptials, and seems to keep delaying them actually getting hitched. It's also revealed that he regularly engaged in adultery, and doesn't plan to change his behavior even after they've become husband and wife.
Don't go snitching to Julia about this. I know you got some little crush on her.
Luckily, Adam Sandler's character ends up being her knight in shining armor, and convinces her that she's with the wrong guy. Number 8. Harry Burns, When Harry Met Sally.
I'm difficult.
You're challenging,
I'm too structured. I'm completely closed off.
but in a good way.
When Harry Met Sally is undeniably one of the most important films in the genre, and is often held up as one of the greatest movie love stories. But the problem is, the male lead has a lot of issues. The plot revolves around the two titular characters missing opportunities to be together over and over again, despite their chemistry. But Harry ends up making it a lot harder than it needs to be.
Are you comfortable?
Sure.
He talks about how he sexualizes every woman in his life. He sleeps with Sally for the first time when she's emotionally vulnerable, and then he treats her poorly afterwards.
You want to act like what happened didn't mean anything.
I'm not saying it didn't mean anything. I am saying, why does it have to mean everything?
He essentially wants all of the benefits of being with her without the actual commitment, until he finally comes to his senses at the end of the movie.
I've been doing a lot of thinking. And the thing is, I love you.
What?
I love you.
Number 7. Pat Healy, There's Something About Mary. There's Something About Mary definitely skews more comedy than romance, but it features a villain about as dastardly as they come. Hapless protagonist Ted decides to track down his prom date using a private detective, which we admit is a bit questionable, but then the detective in question, Pat, decides to steal Mary for himself.
What are you doing in Miami?
I took a job offer.
With who?
With Rice-A-Roni.
He's the type of character who you can tell right away is a bad seed. And his manipulative and selfish actions show that he doesn't actually even care about Mary, but wants to win her as some sort of prize.
Now, Mary, I know this is tough, but you really will be doing them all a great favor to tell them the truth about us.
Are you crazy? What makes you think I would pick you anyhow? I mean, you're a murderer.
Number 6. Warner Huntington III, Legally Blonde. While this film isn't a straight-up rom-com, The plot of this comedy is kicked off with and driven by what happens to the protagonist and her relationship with the governor's son. Not only does Warner break up with Elle at the beginning of the movie when she thinks he's going to propose, he also underestimates her because he thinks she isn't serious enough.
Pooh Bear?
Yes.
I think we should break up.
What?
As such, Elle spends the first half of Legally Blonde trying to win him back by proving him wrong and enrolling in Harvard Law School.
Elle?
Warner? I totally forgot you go here.
But she soon realizes she has much higher dreams than being his wife, especially after she gets some perspective on the type of man he really is.
Well, come on, you're never gonna get the grades to qualify for one of those spots. You're not smart enough, sweetie.
Number 5. Danny Zuko, Grease.
Sandy, I'm sorry.
We know, this movie is beloved and iconic, but with some time and distance for perspective, it's clear that Danny is not a deserving heartthrob. First off, he totally lied to his friends about how far he and Sandy went when they spent the summer at the beach. And then he acts all cool like he doesn't care about her when they first meet again.
What happened to the Danny Zuko I met at the beach?
Well, I do not know. I mean, maybe there's two of us, right? Why don't you take out a missing persons ad or try the yellow pages? I don't know.
He embarrasses her at the dance by dancing with someone else. Then he gropes her at the drive-in when she's clearly not into it.
Oh, Sandy, don't worry about it. Nobody's watching.
Danny, get off me!
Sandy, what's the matter with you?
Of course, they still end up together, but a modern romantic heroine would not have put up with this crap.
Sandy?
Tell me about it, stud.
Number 4. John Tucker. John Tucker Must Die.
John Tucker here, also known as Tuck, T-Man, T-Dog. Some people call me T-Money, but I'm best known as El Capitan.
We knew this guy was gonna suck because, well, that's basically the premise this movie is based on. This high school hunk thinks he can get away with dating multiple girls at once and treating them all awfully.
I don't get it. I mean, these girls all seem so confident and cool. How do they not know that John's cheating on all of them? He's a total operator. He goes out with girls from different cliques so that they never actually talk to each other.
But his exes band together and decide to plan an epic takedown to give him what he deserves. He thinks his plan is foolproof because he dates girls from different social circles and forces them all to keep their relationship with him a secret with some lie about how his dad won't allow him to date. Luckily, this guy gets what he deserves by the end.
I get it. Well, hey, you girls pulled it off. Yeah. It worked.
Number 3. Harry, Love Actually.
It's an art gallery, full of dark corners for doing dark deeds.
Right.
After being released in 2003, Love Actually became a perennial holiday classic. But in the years since its release, there has been something of a backlash about the way the characters act in the movie. First, there's Carl, who ends up being totally undeserving of Sarah with the way he acts concerning her brother.
Will it make him better?
No.
Then maybe. Don't answer.
Then, of course, there's Harry, who cheats on his wife with a younger woman and destroys the love and trust in their marriage.
It's for you.
Sorry?
It's all for you.
One of the most emotionally devastating scenes of all time takes place after Karen realizes that the necklace her husband bought wasn't for her. Number 2. Jasper Bloom, The Holiday. Another Christmas favorite, The Holiday also features a totally loathsome guy.
Hey, I got you something for Christmas.
That's convenient, because I got you something too.
Oh. Darling, I don't actually have my gift with me. In fact, I've probably mislaid it, but I know I got you something.
Iris, played by Kate Winslet, still holds a flame for Jasper, a man she works with who basically keeps her on the hook indefinitely. At the beginning of the movie, she finds out he's engaged to be married and is devastated because she realizes their flirting didn't mean as much to him.
May I introduce the newly engaged Sarah Smith Alcott and Jasper Bloom.
He ends up flying to LA to see her, but is then ambiguous about what he actually wants and whether he's gonna leave his fiancée. Fortunately, Iris has a moment of strength and tells him what's what.
Jasper, You have never treated me right, ever.
Oh, babe.
Shush! You broke my heart. And you acted like somehow it was my fault, my misunderstanding, and I was too in love with you to ever be mad at you, so I just punished myself.
Oh, these guys make me so mad. They are the worst. But seriously though, how many of us have put ourselves in the same position as these rom-com heroines at least once? You know, where we're hopelessly devoted to some terrible love interest who treats us like crap. Well, here's hoping we all get our rom-com happy endings. But before we do, let's check out the worst rom-com boyfriend. After these honorable mentions. Jake Adler, It's Complicated.
I'm sorry.
How far back does that sorry go?
How far back do you need it to go?
Way back.
Brandon Choi, Always Be My Maybe.
You never loved me. This was just about business.
I cannot believe I wasted my prime reproductive years on you. I hope you have terrible karma and come back in the next life as a nasty little lizard and get stepped on by someone on a hike.
Aldous Snow, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
When you're done making jokes, are you going to get a napkin?
Do you know what? I think I've improved it, actually, against all odds. I think I deserve a design award.
Just please get some salsa water.
Jake Perry, Sweet Home Alabama.
Well, I missed you all right. But at this range, my aim is bound to improve.
Is that a threat?
Tom Hansen, 500 Days of Summer.
What? But just what?
No, don't pull that with me. Don't even try to. This is not how you treat your friend.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Daniel Cleaver, Bridget Jones's Diary. It is always bad news when you start a clandestine affair with your boss, but it doesn't help when it turns out that he's also a total jerk.
It's a pleasure, James.
Bridget's crush on him turns into falling in love with him when she and Daniel start sleeping together. And for all intents and purposes, it does seem like their relationship is progressing into more serious territory.
Well, we've become very close.
Well, you've only just met her. She flew in yesterday. Who? Silly Bridget. You haven't only just met her.
But she soon finds out that he's seeing someone else, and that he also lied to her about the real reason that he and Mark Darcy aren't friends anymore. Daniel's a classic slimeball, and yet he still manages to hold on to Bridget's affection.
You know me, I'm a terrible disaster with a posh voice and a bad character. You're the only one who can save me, Bridge. I need you. Without you, 20 years from now, I'll be in some seedy bar with some seedy blonde.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.